The first thing no one noticed was the silence, not the peaceful kind that welcomes you after a long day, but an eerie, unnatural quiet, dense and almost alive, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. It was exactly 6:43 p.m. He remembered because he'd looked at the glowing dashboard clock just before pulling into the driveway. His hand stayed locked around the steering wheel, knuckles white, fingers stiff. The engine kept idling beneath him as he sat motionless for nearly 8 minutes. Something unnameable kept him frozen. And that hesitation? It wasn't like him. But then again, lately, nothing had been. From inside the car, Noah thought he heard something. Laughter. Soft and muffled, slipping through the cracks of the sealed windows. It drifted from inside the house. That caught him off guard. They hadn't planned to have guests. He walked in through the garage, hesitating in the dimness. The television blared in the living room, far too loud. It didn't feel like someone watching a show. It felt like someone trying to drown out reality. Overhead, footsteps echoed. Fast. Intentional. A door shut, not slammed, but closed with a certain purpose. Then she appeared, Elise, standing at the top of the stairs, wrapped in a towel and an oversized hoodie Noah didn't recognize. Her hair was damp and twisted into a lazy bun, haphazardly pinned up. She wore shorts, ones he hadn't seen in the laundry in ages. Her cheeks were pink, but not the kind of flush you get from exercise. She smiled, easy and unbothered, like everything was perfectly ordinary. "Hey, babe," she called out casually, brushing past him without breaking stride. "You're home early." He wasn't. He was exactly on time. Noah trailed after her into the kitchen, his steps heavy with unease. She moved without rush, opened the fridge, grabbed a bottle of water, and took a slow drink. When she finally turned to face him, she looked more amused than surprised. "Everything okay?" she asked, as if he were the one acting strange. He nodded but stayed silent. His eyes followed her every gesture, every blink. Over the years, he'd learned her tells, the way she bit the inside of her cheek when she lied, how her voice lifted just slightly when she was anxious. But tonight, she was too calm. His gaze drifted to her wrist. A faint tan line remained where her fitness tracker used to sit. "Where's your watch?" he asked. She looked down. A hesitation, just a second too long. "Oh, I left it at that new gym on ETH. Jen told me about it." Jen had moved to Denver 6 months ago. Noah only nodded. He didn't call her out. Sometimes, silence is more powerful. It unsettles liars, gives them too much space to trip over their own stories. "You're being weird," Elise said, her expression tightening. "What's going on?" "I saw someone," Noah replied, his voice low and even. "Out by the back gate. Looked like they just left." She froze for a moment, a flicker, then forced out a laugh. "Too loud. Too off-key. You're imagining things. No one's here." The house reeked faintly of cologne. And not his. The bathroom fan upstairs hummed quietly, still running. Her flushed skin. The unfamiliar hoodie. The easy smile. It was all too neat, too calculated. She picked up her phone and started scrolling. "Are you jealous?" she asked, raising a brow. "No," he said coldly. "I'm just done." That was when the first crack showed on her face. Not fear or guilt, just annoyance, like he had ruined her evening. "Don't be dramatic," she muttered, walking back toward the living room. She didn't even bother lying anymore. And that was what hurt the most. She didn't care that he knew. She didn't care at all. Noah stayed in the kitchen, running his fingers across the granite countertop, tracing the stone's grain like he was trying to steady himself. The television kept shrieking in the background, some show full of fake laughter and meaningless dialogue. Elise curled up on the couch, scrolling, a faint smile still on her lips, untouched by any of it. Then his phone buzzed. A message. From an unknown number. You deserve to know what's really going on. Noah's breath caught in his throat. He stared at the message on his phone. Who is this? He typed. No response came. That night, he walked up the stairs by himself. The bedroom still held the familiar scent of Elisa's lavender lotion, but underneath it was something new. Something unfamiliar. Something that didn't belong. In the corner, he spotted her gym bag. He opened it. Inside were high heels, a shade of lipstick he didn't recognize, a spare phone charger, and a folded hotel receipt. Room 504. West Side Inn. 2 nights ago. 1 king bed. Noah walked back downstairs and placed the slip of paper on the coffee table right in front of her. She barely glanced at it. You went through my things? She asked, her tone flat and emotionless. That's all you have to say, he replied. She let out a dramatic sigh, rehearsed and tired. It's not what you're thinking. You were away. I needed space. I just didn't want to be alone. Oh, and I guess Travis needed space, too? Her jaw tensed. She didn't answer. You've been reading my messages, she snapped. He was in the group photo, Noah replied, unmoved. The one you cropped for Instagram. Not exactly subtle. Her face shifted. First irritation, then disdain. Not an ounce of guilt. You're pathetic, she spat, standing abruptly. People grow apart. And sometimes they cheat while they're at it. It happens. She turned and walked out. He didn't follow. That night, sleep never came. At 3:12 a.m., another message lit up his screen. He's not the only one. Noah's fingers trembled slightly as he typed. How many? 3 that I know of. Travis. A guy she meets on Thursdays. And 1 more. By sunrise, his mind was made up. When Elise came downstairs the next morning, she was all smiles and routine. You're up early, she said cheerfully, sipping coffee like the night before hadn't happened. Noah handed her an envelope. Inside were photos, receipts, and a handwritten letter from the wife of one of her affairs. She flipped through it without blinking. You can't just throw me out, she said calmly. It's my house too. Our house, Noah corrected, his voice calm. And I paid for every square inch of it while you entertained Travis, Paul, and your Thursday guy. She rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. No, he said. I'm just done pretending. She left around 1:45 p.m. that day. Sunglasses on. 2 overnight bags slung over her shoulder. She didn't look back, just mumbled something about him overreacting. The days after were quiet, but not peaceful. The silence felt heavy, stale with everything left unsaid. Her perfume lingered on the sheets. Her coffee mug still sat in the sink. Her Netflix profile hovered on the screen like a ghost. Then he found it, tucked under scarves in the dresser. A second phone. The screen lit up as he tapped it. A message thread was open. See. Can't stop thinking about last time. Thursdays are ours. He's too dull to ever notice. Those words shattered what little he'd been holding on to. The next morning, her sister Lauren called. Is everything okay between you two? You tell me, Noah said. Silence. Then Lauren sighed. She mentioned Travis, said she was just trying to figure things out. Figure things out, Noah repeated bitterly. By blowing up everything we built? Later that afternoon, Elise returned. Same hoodie. Same sunglasses. Same defensive energy. We need to talk, she said, stepping into the living room. Noah didn't move. I think we should take a break, she continued carefully. Maybe get help. Like therapy. He looked at her, his voice steady. No. You're not trying to fix this. You're just trying to soften the blow. But you already dropped it. He walked out of the room. No shouting. No grand exit. Just quiet finality. In the days that followed, he began reclaiming his space. He met with a lawyer. Started the paperwork. Then, while cleaning out her jewelry box, he found more. Memory cards. Hidden beneath earrings and bracelets. Hotel selfies. Lingerie he'd never seen before. Videos. Smiling faces. Laughter not meant for him. And just like that, it was done. No dramatic scenes. No last-minute begging. Just a door closing gently behind him. He stepped forward into a life that was quieter, but finally his.